Hello, Alex. Is it Alec or Alex?
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. From Estarli. First thing I'd like to ask is what is your role? What do you do?
Well, I'm one of the founders.
Yeah.
So as you know, there's myself and Oliver, who's my brother. And then we have another founder as well, who is called Robert, who's a bit more on the business side.
Right.
And he's a little bit quieter. So my function is really kind of the product guy, the technical guy. That's the areas that I cover. So I obsess sort of over the bikes and the models, and I'm constantly getting distracted with new ideas and playing around with new bikes. But that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that in many ways is an element of what I'm looking at here, because it's the creativity that's gone into them, which I find quite fascinating. Which is why I'm keen to get down to the museum and see, you know, where
they've come from
way back.
My background is cycling has always been a part of my life. So when I was younger, we lived sort of in a village that was quite remote. So your kind of freedom and your social world revolved around bikes, because that was your means of getting around. Yeah. So mountain biking, hardtail mountain biking was something that I always loved, but cycling was a passion and a necessity as I grew up. And I've always felt connected to bikes since then. Yeah. And as a software engineer, which is my background, technology is just something that's really interesting. And I've always enjoyed gadgets and tech and playing with stuff and building my bike and pulling it apart and putting it back together again. So when this opportunity came up to start looking at Estarli, it was perfect. It kind of played to all the skills.
So the E28, which I've got an original model of, really, you've made huge developments with it. They were terrific. Correct. So are there any other ideas you've got in the pipeline for
that model,
that bike, or any of the other bikes? Because I know you've got a whole range of
we do.
So the cargo bikes are fantastic.
Yeah. So the 28 now has kind of 3 variants, I would say. So with your original one, it was just the one bike. Yeah. And then we introduced the trapeze, which was quite popular, which had a dropped top bar.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
For access. So that became quite popular. With this model, we have the step through and then the crossbar, which is the more traditional style. Yeah. And we kind of have 2 setups. So the version that you have here today is the E28.9, which is the 9-speed, and it's what we would call the kind of like the more gravelly type setup, the touring version of the bike. Yeah. And your one is fitted with upgraded fork suspension. Yeah,
I saw that. Look nice.
Which is nice. It just takes a little bit out the front.
Is there an adjuster on it?
Yes, there is an adjuster, and you can lock it out as well.
Oh, that's good.
They're not massive amounts of travel. No. It's kind of gravel level. But it's just nice if you're just doing a bit of off-roady stuff, or it's an uneven surface. And then we've also put the suspension seat post on your one as well, which is an option that you can add, which again is just really nice. Yeah. It's just, if you're going off-road a bit, if you're going through the woods, you've got those gravel tyres a bit grippier, and you've just got something to just take it out on both ends. Yeah. And it's not like a full suspension bike that absorbs your power. So when you're, if you're not riding...
Or it's heavier as well.
Or heavier, So if you're standing up out of your seat and you're riding, and you haven't got the power on and you want to climb a hill, your energy's not going into the suspension system of the bike and
squashing it all out.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's kind of that sort of middle ground that we think covers a lot of cases.
Yeah, sure.
So yes, we've got the E28.9, which is the gravel variant. Sorry, coming back to your question, and then the city bike, which is the E28X. Okay. Which is the belt-driven version. Yeah. So that has a 2-speed gearbox. Yeah. With a 40% ratio jump. So you start off in a climbing gear, and when you get to round about 12, 13 miles an hour, it'll make a 40% jump, so it goes to 140% gear ratios, and that's your kind of cruising gear. Yeah.
One day I'd like to have you on one of those.
Well, we'll hook you up.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because nice.
Yeah, they're a different. It's a different type of ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You get used to the gear change and when it happens and how it operates. Yeah. But what's nice about it is it's just such low hassle, especially the step-through version of that bike.
You know, I was got my eye on one of those because at my age, I'm 73.
Right.
To start putting your leg over the, you know, and I'm quite tall.
Yeah.
So to put my leg over the saddle and get on is sometimes a bit tricky.
Yeah, and it's just...
So the step-through is nice. It always seemed to be a lady's bike.
Yeah.
But that doesn't bother me.
No, well, I think
it easy.
I think traditionally it has been, and actually we still have the top bar. It just runs parallel to the down tube and comes across. Yeah. So it's still got two bars. It's not just a traditional step through, and we did that because it's not a ladies or a men's thing anymore.
Actually, I see a lot of old people on bikes now.
Yeah.
And electric bikes in particular.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of an extra market there that wasn't there in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got an easier ride, an easier get on and off the bike.
Yeah.
Probably a very good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It fits into that market, and it's. I mean, I will, if I'm at the office, I will tend to, for lunch, we all grab a bike and cycle to you know, wherever it is, the local supermarket. I will normally grab an E20.
Yeah.
Or I'll grab a step through, because it's just a quick on and off with a bag bike.
Yeah, sure.
And from a, you know, for the human body, it's an easier design than stepping over the bike. So it's really easy to access.
Yeah. So what's the future then?
What's the future?
You've moved forward this far in 2 years, and you've got some terrific look. They even look nicer now as well. They're smoothed off, and they really look fantastic. And that little display now is in colour, which is nice. Yeah,
nice and sharp.
What do you reckon? Are you not giving away any secrets? But what's coming? Yeah. What's in your mind?
Well, you probably know, because you've followed and watched us a bit. We iterate the bikes constantly, so we don't tend to do big releases. Although this is quite a big jump, so it is a big release. Yeah. But we're continually improving the bikes and changing things over time. Yeah. So. There are some more variants of this bike to come that I can't give you too much detail at the moment, but perhaps a bit more gravelly styles, perhaps a different style of handlebar is something that we're working on that can be quite popular. And we have our new folding bike that's coming out with a belt drive. With the 2-speed system as well.
Because that commuter market must be quite interesting.
Yeah, and well, it's an interesting one, because it is commuter market, but it's also the day explorer, someone who wants to have a bike that they can fold and stick in their boot.
Or strap on the back of a camper van as well.
Or stick on the back of the camper van, So something that's light and compact and doesn't necessarily require you to put a bike rack on, and you know, something that's it's just quite easy to put in and get going with. So that's popular. So we have the belt version of that, which is coming out very soon. Our cargo bike, which you alluded to, which you're welcome to have a look. So there's one in there.
Oh, right.
There's one out there actually. So the cargo bike is we've just done a slightly updated version of that that's got some little extra.
Did you make these developments from sort of customer feedback?
So the inputs for development, very much customer feedback, shop feedback, because we have a large retail network now, and because we don't have a distributor, we manage the relationships with the shops directly. So we get that really fast feedback loop.
Sure.
And then there is kind of our own ideas that come about in-house. And lots of stuff is born that way.
Yeah, of course.
So the cargo came from myself having a young family and Oliver having a young family.
Yeah, sure.
And a bit of a need. So we put something together to kind of scratch that itch.
How many retail outlets are there now?
So just over 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I said, there were 3 when I bought this almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's a terrific advance.
Yeah, it's really good growth.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you can cover everybody, and you know, going to a shop and having that kind of support, and that relationship, is really useful.
Yeah. Alex, that's great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. And I hope you enjoy the bike.
You just bought me a lovely bike to play with. That's terrific.
Well, yes.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Great.